Good Friday evening, April 11th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. A bill to limit how much landlords can raise their tenants' rent each year passed Washington State Senate on Thursday. The Washington legislature has passed one of Governor Bob Ferguson's priority bills. Windy and cooler tomorrow with a warming trend beginning on Sunday. I'll have your full local weather forecast straight ahead. A Wenatchee man who sprayed cleaning solution at a pair of U.S. Marshals who attempted to arrest him in 2023 was sentenced today to 7 years in federal prison. 34-year-old Filiberto Santana Jr. pleaded guilty to 2 counts of assaulting a federal officer. In January 2023, the federal marshals assisted the Columbia River Drug Task Force as they closed in on Santana, who was the passenger in a stolen vehicle at the Easy Street Park and Ride. He was wanted on arrest warrants and had multiple prior convictions. During the arrest, Santana discharged a can of interior detailing spray directly into the eyes of one marshal, temporarily blinding him. A second marshal breathed in the chemical and suffered lung irritation. Later that year, Santana pleaded guilty in Chelan County Court to third-degree assault and possessing a stolen vehicle. Acting U.S. Attorney Richard Barker said the marshals showed courage and professionalism in a dangerous situation. The 7-year federal sentence imposed today by U.S. District Judge Stan Bastian is in addition to the 4.5 years Santana is already serving at Airway Heights Corrections Center. Over 200 people gathered yesterday at the former Chelan County PUD site to attend the groundbreaking ceremony of the new Wenatchee YMCA facility. Speakers of the event included Wenatchee Mayor Mike Poyer, former Wenatchee World publisher Rufus Woods, and others to share about what made the building possible. According to the YMCA website, the campaign has raised over $22.2 million for the facility, which will include community room spaces, an indoor track, multiple pool and fitness centers, youth spaces, and more. CEO Dory Foster told Wake Up Wenatchee Valley in February the facility will take 16 to 18 months to build. At the groundbreaking, Steve Robinson, a YMCA board member, shared about what made the building so important to the community.
It's a symbol, I believe, and I hope you do too, of the community's collective commitment to build something better for tomorrow, something better for our children and our grandchildren, better for people who we may not have even been born yet. I would like us to think that it's a symbol of the YMCA's commitment to provide an impactful and even life-changing experience for young people, young families, to build a healthy spirit, a healthy mind, and a healthy body for everybody, regardless of age or gender or income or race.
A bill to limit how much landlords can raise their tenants' rent each year passed Washington State Senate on Thursday by a vote of 29 to 20. The upper limit would be 10%, and single-family homes that are not owned by a corporation would be exempt from the cap. The bill now goes to the House. It was pushed by Senate Democrats and solidly opposed by Republicans, including Senator Keith Gaynor of the 12th District.
When we look at what we're trying to do here in the state of Washington, we, by our own admission, have invested billions of dollars in housing because we know we need it. But what we're also doing right now is creating an environment where people who are coming from the outside, and we heard people from out of the state that would say, we would be interested in Washington because there's a real demand. But then when they find out that, wow, that demand comes with some real restrictions, well, we could get in and sell it and keep moving. And even this bill says that new construction is good, but when you reach a certain point, then we will take control of that property. And Mr. President, by putting price controls on, that's exactly what the state is doing. They're taking the private sector's investment and saying, We'll take care of it now. We're going to give you the guidelines of what you must do in order to stay in the business.
Karen Rutherford was named the 2025 Apple Blossom Youth Parade Grand Marshal during a surprise announcement at La Vienne Coffee Bar and Bakery on Thursday. Rutherford is a former Wenatchee City Councilwoman, serves on the Board of Trustees for the Community Foundation of North Central Washington, and coaches a Wenatchee Museum robotics team. She is also a founding board member of Pinnacles Prep Charter School. Rutherford was appointed as Youth Grand Marshal after being nominated for her positive impact on the Valley's youth. The Technoplex Youth Parade happens April 26th. When we come back, the Apple-themed license plate that raises money for the Washington Apple Education Foundation turned 5 this year, and the city of Wenatchee is looking for residents to serve on pro and con committees for an August ballot measure. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
When you enjoy Abby's Pizza at your place, close your eyes and you can taste old-fashioned values, classic pizza parlor decor, and generations of tradition. Recreate that magic. Open your eyes and head to abbys.com. With pickup and delivery options, no matter where you dine, Abby's just tastes better. This is Skinny, and he helped found Abby's 60 years ago. In honor of Skinny, we're putting his favorite pizza on sale. Savory pizza sauce, Canadian bacon piled to the edge, and juicy tomatoes make this a very special pizza. Order your Skinny special right now at abbys.com.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
Central Washington Water is home to the Hot Spring Spa for over 45 years. Come see the Freshwater Smart IQ. It monitors your saltwater spa's pH balance, chlorine, and more. Or the cold plunge tub that will leave you feeling rejuvenated. Plug-and-play spas make hot tubbing easy. With great financing available, cold water, salt water, hot water, Central Washington Water has a spa for your budget and your lifestyle. Stop by today.
The Apple-themed license plate that raises money for the Washington Apple Education Foundation turned 5 this year. Each license plate purchase and renewal contributes $28 to the foundation, which provides financial assistance to students pursuing higher education from families working in the tree fruit industry. The plates were introduced in 2020 by then 12th District Senator Brad Hawkins. Since its launch, the license plate has raised over $142,000 for students. According to the foundation, 1,239 plates are on cars throughout Washington state. The Washington legislature has passed one of Governor Bob Ferguson's priority bills, putting limitations on out-of-state National Guard troops coming into Washington. From the Olympia News Bureau, Murrow News fellow Albert James shows us why Democratic lawmakers say the ban is necessary and why Republicans sought to oppose it.
Substitute House Bill 1321 on third reading and final passage.
House Bill 1321 says no armed military force from another state can enter Washington and perform military duties without the governor's permission unless they've been ordered to by the president. Driven by other governors floating the idea of using National Guard troops to enforce federal immigration laws outside their states, Democratic prime sponsor Charlotte Mena of Tacoma says the bill maintains Washington's ability to set and enforce its own laws.
This could be about anything now or in the future that another state may want to impose on the state of Washington. I think we deserve to be in control of the policies here within our borders.
Supporters point to several other states with similar restrictions on the books, including Idaho, Rhode Island, and Texas. Governor Ferguson brought that up when he endorsed the idea after being sworn in.
Texas and Montana have adopted similar policies. Washington must join them.
The bill passed on a party line vote with all 19 Republicans in opposition. Senator Jeff Wilson from Southwest Washington questioned the necessity of the bill, saying federal law would prevent another governor from ordering National Guard troops into Washington. He's also worried about political divisions.
I think with today's tensions in the United States and each state, I think The bill should be put down, if nothing else, just to ease the tensions of something of speculation that I would offer up on.
The bill now heads to Governor Ferguson for his consideration. According to Representative Mena, he is looking forward to signing it into law. At the state capitol in Olympia, I'm Albert James reporting.
The city of Wenatchee is looking for residents to serve on pro and con committees for an August ballot measure. The city is asking voters to authorize a sale and use tax of 0.2% for no more than 10 years beginning January 1st, 2026. The tax would fund projects identified in the Transportation Improvement Program adopted by the city, as well as the general street maintenance and repairs and transportation infrastructure. The two committees can consist of 3 people each and are responsible for preparing for and against statements relating to the ballot measure for the voters' pamphlet. Applications for the committees are due on Monday, April 21st, and more application information can be found on NCWLIFE.com. Coming up next, the annual Arbor Day celebration is tomorrow, and we will tell you more about the Greater Wenatchee Arbor Day Association tree sale coming up in tonight's feature story. Cooler and windy weather for Saturday with sunshine and much warmer temperatures next week. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air. Celebrate Apple Blossom with the Technoplex Youth Parade, Saturday, April 26th at 11 a.m. on the NCWLIFE channel. Coverage is brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington, Boswell's Home Furnishings, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Merry Maids, Together for Youth, and the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. It's the Technoplex Youth Parade, Saturday, April 26th on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
What do you think of that?
Pretty big, I like it.
Watch for new episodes of the Northwest Outdoorsman on the NCWLIFE channel, your local TV station.
Arbor Day is traditionally the time of year to select new trees and shrubs for your landscape. That day is tomorrow, and the Greater Wenatchee Arbor Day Association is here to help with their annual tree sale from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. In Wenatchee, it's happening at the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, but there are also other locations around the valley. In tonight's features story, NCWLIFE Stan Kuntz spoke with organizer Debbie Fish about how plant varieties are selected for the sale.
Well, part of it is what we have available for selection, and part of it is that we wanted to choose smaller plants this year. We've had some large trees in the past, but you know, it's really hard to put a big ponderosa pine in the middle of the town because it's a fire risk and just very big. So we chose things that were, or plants that were a lot smaller, such as, I think the smallest one is about 15 feet high at the max, but that depends on how much water it gets. And then about 3 feet wide is the narrowest.
Just one tree this year, the thin leaf alder is the only tree available. So talk about the alder.
Yeah, so it is actually a little bit smaller. It's about 30 feet max on the height. And again, that depends, it's a medium It's a faster growing, actually. That's the faster growing one. But it also, it depends on how much you water it. And but it should fit into your landscape a little bit easier because it's a little more narrow and a little bit shorter, and not the 40 or 50 feet tall ones.
It will eventually, when you plant it, you do have to remember it will eventually get that tall. So you got to remember.
And it can be pruned.
Right, there you go. The Greens Mountain Ash. I'm not going to do it in Latin because my Latin is terrible. Talk about that.
That is a really good plant for riparian, which is along creeks and lakes so that you can repair and do a good soil erosion protection.
Holds the ground a little bit?
Holds the ground
So if you have maybe a slanted lot, it would be good for that kind of deal?
Yeah, it would be, yeah.
Okay, because you don't want your backyard ending up in your living room.
Right.
Yep. The red flowering currant. This is a plant that I think is very attractive.
Yes, and it's going to go fast because it is very popular. I've actually talked to a few people who have had the red currant before, and they are really excited to have an opportunity to get more plants. It is also good for making hedges, and all of the plants are good for wildlife, birds, small mammals, and large mammals as well.
The blue elderberry, also known as the Sambucus, the blue elderberry.
The blue elderberry, yes. So that is actually very common around here up in the mountains and up in the valleys. So it's kind of fun because it also has a fruit that birds can eat, and it's just a fun plant.
And perhaps maybe the prettiest of them all, the lilacs, which do really well in this climate. And I'm surprised that it hasn't really been part of the rotation of plants and shrubs from years past.
Well, it really depends on our source and whether it's available or not. The lilac also it's not a native, but it does so well here, and it is a drought tolerant, as well as very good with very extreme cold. So it's gonna last a long time and grow really well.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great Friday. And boy, no complaints weather-wise out there. Looking outside our weather window from this afternoon, look at that. Nothing but blue sky around almost all of North Central Washington today. Temperatures about where they should be for this time of year. Just a beautiful shot looking down at the Wenatchee Valley. But we are going to see a cold front quickly move through on Saturday. And with clear nights, we are going to see some colder nights absolutely this weekend, especially for you folks into Grant County, eastern Grant County, and maybe up in the Waterville Plateau. You can see temperatures at the freezing mark, and that goes especially for Saturday night and possibly once again on Sunday night. Today's high temperature unofficially 61 degrees, and that's about where we should be for this time of year. 60 is normal. Once again, 2016, third day in a row for record highs, 75 on this date in 2016. 39 this morning, right on the money for our normal low of 39. Record cold, 29 degrees, and that was set in 2021. Sunrise 6:19 this morning, and it sets tonight at 7:45. Getting you into that Saturday forecast, we're going to see some changes. As I mentioned, a cold front will slide through, and that's going to drop us all into the 50s for Saturday. Upper 50s, Moses Lake and Ephrata, 57 for Quincy, 55 in Wenatchee, also Eniat, a little warmer into Chelan and up into Omak at 57, and then low to mid 50s from Lake Wenatchee into Leavenworth, Cashmere as well. You'll be in those low to mid 50s for highs tomorrow, and it is going to be windy. We'll get to that in a second. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, still seeing the effects of a ridge that's up and over the Pacific Northwest. Seasonal lows tonight with temperatures right around 40 degrees. As we get into Saturday, here's where we have the wind, and right here in central Washington, we're talking 10 to 20 miles an hour with gusts about 25. It's going to be cooler too with the northwesterly flow. High temperatures for Saturday only in the mid 50s, so we will be below normal to kick off our weekend. And then look at Sunday. Sunny skies is another very strong area of high pressure builds in. We will see high temperatures on Sunday, in the low 60s, so a nice end to our weekend. And then the nice weather is upon us as we get into next week. High clouds for Monday and warmer with high temperatures in those mid-60s. It's going to be a beautiful day to start our work week. And folks, it's just getting better. On Tuesday, we will see lots of sunshine out there. High pressure moving just off the coast of Washington. Unseasonably warm. Look at that warm up on Tuesday. Low 70s for high temperatures. For Wednesday, not much change. We're going to see once again lots of sunshine out there as we get you into the midweek next week. High pressure still in control off the Pacific. It's grabbing all of the warmth from the south and bringing it right back into our state. Highs again Wednesday in those low 70s, and we're not done yet. For Thursday, sunny skies and warmer. High temperatures at the end of our forecast into the mid-70s. Now a look at your 7-day forecast. We'll see 39 overnight tonight. Remember, partly cloudy, windy tomorrow, and quite a bit cooler, 55 for our high. Sunny and 61 to end our weekend on Sunday. And then the warming trend really kicks into gear. High clouds and 65 for Monday. Mostly sunny to sunny skies Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with high temperatures in the 70s. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Celebrate Apple Blossom with the Stamilk Grand Parade Saturday, May 3rd at 11 a.m. on the NCWLIFE channel. Coverage is brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington, Boswell's Home Furnishings, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Mary Maids, Together for Youth, and the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. Watch the Stamilk Grand Parade Saturday, May 3rd on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
NCWLIFE's news team is keeping an eye on North Central Washington. Join us each weekday evening at 5, 6, and 10 for the NCWLIFE Evening News, with interviews, in-depth reporting, and the kind of insights you can't find anywhere else. We're the hometown news station for the Wenatchee Valley, the Cascade Foothills, and up and down the Columbia River. Thanks for watching NCWLIFE, proud to be part of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival.
Happy Finally Friday. The Seattle Kraken were looking for a bounce-back game last night in Vegas. Despite the 2-1 loss, Seattle has to feel better than that 7-1 drubbing against Utah earlier in the week. The Golden Knights got on the board early, and Seattle fought back with a goal in the second with plenty more opportunities down the stretch. Just wasn't to be. John Forsland had the call on King 5 and Kong TV.
Now it's free along the boards, knocked down by Barbashev through center for Howden. Here they come. Brett Howden, Stone's out in front. There's Stone, it goes by him. Barbashev scores on the follow-up. As a trailer, he was unmarked. And the Vegas Golden Knights, with 13:02 left in period one, break the ice.
Taking a puck away from Tomas Hertl there.
Hertl now's missed the last 8 games. He has the puck. Up top, Theodore. Dorofeev with a bid right off the crossbar. Punched by McNabb to Kakko down low. Tolvanen in tight. Stopped by Hill, a dandy. He'll sling it across for Evans, and now Burakovsky. Canceled on the play. Greeted there by Mark Stone. He was clipped with a stick with Stone. Off the post. Shane Wright with a shot. It sails over the shoulder of Hill. Now punched in by Mahura. Furthered by Beniers. Out of the corner, it's Kakko. A nice move. Beniers drags it right on the target. Then off the goal post. Mercy. Evans now to the corner. This has been a landmark achievement in broadcasting tonight. Through center. It rolls around Eberle.
You know what? Somebody... We're going to win the award for the Hemi.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Here comes Riley Smith to the slot. Carlson. He scores! Wild Bill, they call him. William Carlson with a dart.
To keep himself alive and give that passing lane an opportunity for Asimont.
Dorofeev, an attempt to drop it off for Hertl. Mahura has Hayden alone. There he is. Oh. Great save by Hill.
You know, all that kind of stuff, and that it could end up, like I said, it's that one time when you go to work and you figure it out. That's the difference.
Larson tipped off the post, and maybe a cash in. It is Jordan Eberle driving the net. along with Jared McCann, and it's the captain, I believe, that will emerge here. What a goal by Jordan Eberle as he wills it home. 70 seconds left in the power play. A steal again, this time Riley Smith dangling, moving, stopped by DeCord.
Gets this opportunity, gonna go right, go left, now I'm gonna come back right, and then
looks to set it up. They'll lay it back for Chandler Stevenson, now done, 25 seconds left. Stevenson, goal line, Eberle out in front, uphill, the rebound, loose, Montour, jamming for it, McNabb down and out, it's held in by Stevenson, his shot rubbed out by Mark Stone, Schwartz in front, uphill, Montour knocking on the door, there's Montour again, 2 seconds left, that's all.
Seattle returns home to wrap up the series with the first of 2 games at Climate Pledge Arena. That'll be tomorrow night at 7 o'clock against St. Louis. 7 o'clock game will be broadcast on Kong TV. Final game of the season is Tuesday night against the LA Kings. Well, the Mariners continue their homestand with the first of 3 games against Texas tonight at T-Mobile Park. Rangers lead the American League West, coming in with an 8-4 record. Seattle is tied with the Athletics for last place at 5-8. Tonight's game features Jacob deGrom on the mound for Texas against Bryce Miller for the Mariners. First pitch slated for 6:40. The game broadcast on Root Sports Northwest. Only game played by an American League team yesterday in the West was by the Angels. They beat Tampa Bay 11-1. Los Angeles comes into the weekend trailing Texas by a half game in the division. Houston is 3.5 games back after losing 2 of 3 to Seattle. The Wenatchee Bighorns wrap up a 5-game road trip in TBL basketball this weekend, riding a 5-game winning streak. Wenatchee plays at Salem tomorrow night at 7 o'clock and then Willamette Valley Sunday at 7. The Bighorns return home next Thursday to host Salem at Wenatchee Valley College at 7 o'clock. NCWLIFE will stream the game live with Grant Olson on the play-by-play. Well, 3 baseball games were played across north central Washington yesterday. Brewster fell at home to Meridian 6-2. Lake Roosevelt topped Waterville Mansfield 15-5, and Elmira Cooley Heartline beat Okanagan 11-2. One of 2 doubleheaders today is at Recreation Park with Wenatchee hosting Eisenhower. Eastmont's on the road at West Valley. Cashmere is hosting a single game against Meridian, and a couple of north central Washington teams are playing at Gonzaga University today. Chelan facing Toutle Lake, followed by Brewster and Lakeside 9 Mile Falls. 7 doubleheaders are on the tap tomorrow, all with 11 o'clock start times. Ephrata visits Prosser. Quincy travels to Toppenish. Okanagan hosts Bridgeport. Clallam is at Liberty Bell. Manson visits Tonasket. Cascade hosts Lake Roosevelt. Omak plays at Elmira Cooley Heartline. Prep girls softball yesterday. We're talking fast pitch. Chelan topped Tonasket 18-10. Omak beat Liberty Bell 19-4. Cascade blasted Manson 28-11. Mount Baker down Cashmere 17-8. Brewster beat ACH 8-3. And Waterville Mansfield topped Bridgeport 19-2. Couple of double headers in the CWAC today with Ephrata at Grandview, and Quincy is hosting East Valley. Cashmere has a single game at Kittitas. Just as in baseball, there are 7 doubleheaders in fast pitch tomorrow. Omak is at Elmira Cooley Heartline. Bridgeport hosts Okanagan. Lake Roosevelt visits Cascade. Tonasket takes on Manson. Clallam visits Liberty Bell. Brewster hosts Bampton. Republic plays at Oroville with the first game at noon. Prep boys soccer yesterday. Quincy topped Toppenish 1-0. Cascade blanked Bridgeport 3-0. Brewster beat Omak 6-1. Tonasket topped Manson 1-0, and it was Okanagan over Oroville 2-1. 4 matches scheduled today with Chelan at Cascade. Cashmere is hosting Granger. Eastmont is hosting West Valley tonight at 7, while Wenatchee is on the road at Eisenhower. Tomorrow's schedule has Bridgeport at Liberty Bell at 11, while Manson hosts Oroville. Brewster is in Chelan at noon. Omak is hosting Tonasket at 1 o'clock. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a great weekend.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around north central Washington, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great weekend.